Know who you are. Know thyself deeply, painfully, and then find out what are the gifts and contributions that you can then go on and give to society. I was born in Decatur, Illinois, and raised in the housing projects for the first few years of my life. It was a wonderful, engaged community. You knew your neighbors. We played in the front yards. It was my Mayberry. I love both of my parents deeply. With my mother, she was a very committed mom. She cleaned the homes of rich people, but she raised her 8 children and raised us in a way that we felt that we were very special. My dad, on the other hand, was a strict disciplinarian. Everyone knew Buck Livingston. He was the father of civil rights in Decatur, and he taught each of us responsibility. If you're going to do something, you'll do it right. And I grew up with that kind of work ethic. I knew that education was the career path for me during my freshman year of high school, when my guidance counselor called me in and said, Mitchell, we're going to put you in a vocational curriculum, not a college-bound curriculum. And it felt like a dagger had been plunged into my heart. But I fought back, and at the end of my high school career, I did become a journeyman carpenter, and I'm proud of that to this day. But what motivated me most was how he underappreciated what potential I might have and prematurely tracked me in an area where I would live a useful life working with my hands, rather than a life that would take me around the world where I worked with my mind. My basketball coach heard a rumor about me going to my younger brother's track meet. And my coach came out to the house that evening and said, Mitchell, is the rumor true that you jumped 6'3", barefooted in that track meet right behind your brother? And I said, yes, sir. And he says, I will get you a scholarship to college. My senior year, I qualified for nationals. I met this guy called Dick Fosbury, who revolutionized the high jumping technique. I jumped forward, he jumped backwards.
Mitch actually set the bar. Dick Fosbury went and hit and knocked over the bar. However, there was a dead spot on the floor right before you jump. And Mitch brought it to the officials' attention, which ended up giving Fosbury another attempt, which he cleared to beat Mitch.
It would have been at too great a cost for me to stay silent and take the gold. And to this day, that silver medal is the most precious one that I have. I followed a very traditional path in my career in student affairs, from a coordinator, director, all the way to the chief executive officer of student affairs. One of the things I'm most proud of at the University of Cincinnati is having worked with a committee to build a just and diverse campus community. And we came up with a 5-year plan that is being implemented to this day.
Mitch will always be a teacher because he will always be a mentor. I think that teaching is a part of who he is, what he loves doing, what he does well.
So there is this blending of how I teach inside the classroom and outside the classroom, and motivated by this common core of values that we try to hold on to guide and to direct us. So that just community model is very important to me.
He invited me once to a basketball game. I can't tell you the number of students that would come by, hug him, hold him, talk to him, share a part of their lives, and thank him for the work.
We've never stayed at one place this long, and it has not been any better than what I've had here at the University of Cincinnati, and it has not been any better than my breadth of experience in serving this community in so many different ways. And now, having served on 8 wonderful boards of directors that allowed me to have different kinds of leadership experiences with the senior captains of business and finance in this community, to our social service agencies, I've been able to broaden myself in that way.
When Mitch talks, people listen because they know something important is going to be said.
Mitch probably had more connections of employees personally than about any other board member I've ever experienced, not only in my board experience at Fifth Third, but in my other public company boards.
Every single involvement that I've had has given back to me in ways that I could not imagine. Carol and I met in a most interesting way. She was dating a friend of mine. She didn't like me, and I didn't particularly like her. And after I completed my Ph.D. working at Iowa, where she was working as well, I remember saying to her, "I'm taking a job at the Ohio State University. Is there anything in this relationship?" She said to me, "Maybe." And a week later, we were married. And our twin sons, they are our proudest accomplishments. And just when I thought all that a spouse could give, she entered a contest along with 9 million other people. And 2 weeks later, she was informed that she had won this beautiful 17-acre, $1 million summer home on Chesapeake Bay. It was a message. And the message was, this is a good time to retire and reflect on all of the wonderful things that you have done for the communities that you've lived in. I can stand up and proudly say, this is one of America's finest cities. It's a beautiful place where you can find community. Even though we have 54 separate and distinct communities, there's something particular about this place that is special. It has become my Mayberry.